go live. Alright, before I go on my tirades, as always, is anybody getting jammed up with anything? For those that don't know, I didn't send anything in this past week for the first time in 2 years. Life happens, it is what it is, but back on the grind this week. Things are good on my end, though. Sales are still sales. My November is down compared to my October, but my October was really good, so I can't complain about anything there. Yeah, things have been good. I'm excited for Black Friday. I'm hoping that record shops have good deals on Black Friday. Um, yeah, what we got going on out there in the universe?
I have two humongous CD lots that are happening all in the same week for some reason.
Okay,
So
well
that'll
we,
be
we
very
need
fun
more
to go through.
details, like how much you paying, how many CDs.
Okay, so I got one lot. So I actually sold a house as a realtor, and it was actually an estate. The father died, and turns out the guy also has just 6,000 CDs on the side.
Oh,
So
okay. I seen that
to
post in the
also
Discord.
to
Okay, so
also
I got
to
one
grease
lot.
the
I
to
actually
also grease along the
it was
actual
actually
process, I offered 20 cents a CD. It's a big lot, but it also helps push my real estate commissions. I can't really complain there. And then I have some other big Facebook lot of 5,500, so I have like 11,000 CDs coming in.
Bless your young soul, man.
That'll be interesting to see. My mother is already concerned as to where I'll put space for it, but there's plenty of space in the backyard.
Yeah, throw a tarp over them. They'll be fine. All I can say is turn and burn, dude. Get through, send in as much as you can, and then you can figure out the rest, whether you want to chase the buybacks or just redonate it.
I've had good luck throwing them out, flowing through them. So
Yeah, that's probably the best piece of advice to just get through them. And I mean, that many CDs, you should, like in my experience, CDs usually do a little bit better than DVDs in bulk. You should be able to hopefully. Are you doing the 9.99 fast moving stuff yet or no?
yeah, I am, and
Okay.
I'm doing it for CDs as well. I found actually really good, even better success than DVDs with it.
Okay, so you should probably send in, we'll say, 20% if you're doing the 9.99 fast moving and the FBA. So you're looking at roughly over 1,000, probably close to 2,000 CDs jumping into your inventory. So make sure that you're on the right reprice it level. Make sure that you actually get them sent in a reasonable amount of time.
My reprice has been upgrading a lot recently, partially because of that.
Yeah, I'm like hovering right around the 5,000 one. So I'm like, should I upgrade? And I sell like 200 a week. I'm like, I really don't gotta upgrade. I probably should
I I
upgrade. I don't
worked
know.
I worked way too hard this week. I got 1,800 items in.
That's insane.
I don't know where I pulled it all from, but it appeared from somewhere. It just like mysteriously spawned into my room.
Make sure that you magically go in and manually reprice items as well. That's a PSA to everybody. I can't say it enough. If it's older than 6 months, you need to go to your manage all inventory page, filter it to active, date created old to new, and go through and start dropping the prices on this stuff to move it because Santa's coming and this is going to be your best chance to sell a lot of this junk that we have. So, January, February, March, we'll probably be cleaning up our inventory. Fingers crossed that liquidations is kind of wide open, but you never know. So I'd rather you sell it, get $2, $3 back out of it instead of paying for removals or having it sent back to you. So just have that on your mind. If you ever were going to sit down and spend 2 hours mindlessly going through Seller Central to reprice your inventory, now is the best time possible in the history of the universe to do it.
You guys were talking in the last meeting about the cost of the extra space, requested space at FBA, and it was like JB was saying he's paying a fantastic rate, and then because I think I missed the boat on December, but I'm gonna shoot for January, and now that I've sent in all this stuff, since I did not request, I missed the boat, like I said, on December. I've got way over my normal limit, which is 100, which is what I think you said you were at currently.
Yeah.
What happens when December 1st hits and they've got way over 100 of me because I didn't request that extra space?
Nothing. You just leave it there. You just can't send no more. It's not like they're gonna throw your stuff out of the warehouse.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to,
Yeah, you'll be good.
I don't know if they were going to start shipping it back to me because I'm over my 100.
That would be a nightmare. Oh my god, that would just be
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, it would. That would be very bad.
All right, iPhone did you raise your hand purposely iPhone? And I know your name's not iPhone, so we need at least some kind of name here.
Is that me?
That's you, iPhone.
I didn't realize I didn't yeah, my name's Diamond. I go by the Picky Picker online, but I recently joined the group a few days ago. I've been watching all of the podcast episodes, and I've been getting a lot of value from that. I'm an everything seller, and I don't yet sell on Amazon, so I'm strictly eBay right now. Um, yeah.
That's the hard work in life there, Diamond, selling on eBay, everything. I think we all kind of started as everything sellers on eBay. It's kind of weird to look back. So yeah, I mean, take baby steps with Amazon. It is a process. Everybody here will tell you it's a lot of hoops they make you jump through when you sign up for Amazon. If you decide to go that route, and depending on everything you sell on eBay, a lot of it can't be sold in used condition on Amazon, and there's nothing wrong with just being an eBay seller at all. But yeah, I mean, Amazon's a whole new platform, and it can be profitable depending on what you want to sell, what you want to get into. And don't hesitate to ask questions, or even though you're the eBay everything seller, we all kind of sold at eBay one time or another. You can bug Johnny. Everybody here can bug Johnny, by the way. You can send Johnny a message any time of day. He lives on his computer. He's much more responsive than I am. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to Johnny with any question regarding anything on eBay or Amazon. He's super responsive and he'll shoot straight with you. He's a much straighter shooter than I am, sometimes a little bit too much. But yeah, welcome to the
So
Crazy Club.
media is one of my favorite. Out of everything that I sell, media is one of my favorite things to sell. Um, I just think that it's very overlooked. Um, like I remember I went to the bins. I've only been to the bins like 3 times, but I went to the bins one time and I was digging and I found this CD. Um, I can't remember what kind of software it was. I think it was like some type of photography software, and I listed it just the disc um on eBay, and it sold. I think I picked up a few items and I ended up paying like $1.65 for everything I got. And the CD sold within a few days of listing on eBay for 14.95 plus shipping. So that's something that probably no one else would have picked up. But um and then also I've commented on I've been commenting on just about all of the podcast videos because I've been like watching them like retroactively. But I I had commented about like have you guys ever sold QuickBooks like software like tax and
Yeah, I
accounting
remember
stuff?
seeing that. Yeah, I've never even really come across it in a while. I know some of them are like no-goes for sure. Like Rosetta Stone's one you definitely don't want to sell. I'm not sure about the QuickBooks or other ones. Maybe somebody here has sold QuickBooks before, but I personally have never have sold them.
So the first one I picked up I found at a Goodwill in the media section like where with amongst all the DVDs, and it was used. It was a 2017 desktop pro, whatever, Intuit QuickBooks. And so I paid $3 for it and it sold, I think, within a month for $550 plus shipping
Sheesh.
in May earlier this year. And I never got a return, so they're happy. And I was able to get my hands on um more two of the 2020 version and brand new sealed. So each of those should go for like around 1,000.
You're giving out all your bolos here live on the YouTube world. Now everything's going to
Oh
tank and you're going to
God.
be to blame. That's all I'm saying. Once you put it out there, everybody knows now we're all going to be looking for QuickBooks in every thrift store we're in.
And also, I've been thinking about it as far as like, because I've been, like I said, I've been consuming like a bunch of your videos over the past week. And I love like, um, when you guys talk about like creative sourcing methods, like the possibilities are really endless. But I've been thinking about Amazon to eBay arbitrage because I've gone and looked at to find some of those QuickBooks CDs as long as they're the physical media, and they're selling them for pretty cheap brand new on Amazon. And for me, I feel like the great thing with Amazon is you can order it. If it's not what you thought it was going to be or whatever, you can just return it. So,
You're
but
right. You're right. Now we all know we're all gonna run to Amazon after this and look up QuickBooks, and you'll never find another one again.
Oh God.
Hey, you did it. See, you didn't know what you're getting yourself into. I do it all the time, but listen, most people, Diamond, aren't going to take the steps to do exactly what you're doing with that. And hey, if it works and it's something like that and it's niche, listen, like you said, media is overlooked. It's a lot of work, but if you think a little bit outside the box, besides just the thrift store media grind 8 hours a day, you can turn this into a business that doesn't, soak up every second of your day, every second of your life. But media is
Whose
hard
cat
work.
is that?
That's
Who's blurred out?
yeah, that's Roz's. That's Georgie. He's blurred out, chomping away. She probably doesn't have the sound on her. I would just meow at him to see if he did anything.
Another recent thing that happened to me that was funny is um I've been thinking about like you guys talk about in your videos, like how to get product before they even hit the thrift store, right? And I created this little flyer on Canva for donation pickup services, right? And for me, as far as like, I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm going to be sorting through the stuff, picking out what I'm going to sell, and then donating the rest. For me, and I advertise it as a free service. Um, and I sent it out to like a bunch of people in my text, and there was actually a lady that I met at an estate. She runs an estate sale company, and I met her at an estate sale. We clicked like that. Um, and I messaged her, I sent her the flyer, and then she was like, "Are you going to be picking through the stuff before you donate them?" And I said, "Yeah." And she was like, she thinks that's dishonest. She thinks that's low. She thinks that it's a waste of my talent. And she was like, "I can no longer do business with you." And I really, for a second, I had to like, because I feel like I have a strong moral compass. I had to like take a second and think, is that wrong? I asked a few family members, I asked like some reseller friends that I have, and I was like, it's really not wrong. Like I play, it's not, I'm not trying to keep it a secret. I'm gonna disclose that are you okay with me sorting through stuff, picking out stuff that I can sell and then donating the rest? I'm still donating probably most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I felt like I don't know. But I decided that there's nothing wrong with it. She just took it too deep.
I,
But
I always tell everybody I do this to support my family, my wife and my cats, right? So it kind of flips the script on people that have that mindset of, oh, well, like you're kind of ripping people off. Well, like this is what I do as my income. This is like a job, a profession, and that kind of makes them hesitate or think twice before throwing out the, well, you're ripping people off and you're a scalper. But you're never gonna. It's always gonna be somebody else, whether that's a friend or family member. Like I jokingly say it, but like my family still thinks I don't have a job, and it's just, oh yeah, you just sell crusty old books every once in a while. You never be able to convince everybody, but I'm glad you already got over that hill of not feeling like you're some kind of scumbag, because you're not. And if anything, you're saving stuff that's just going to wind up in a landfill and somebody else is going to appreciate it. So like you're actually doing good versus people
and that the
saying you're doing
thrift
bad.
stores are gonna sell anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, listen, you're always going to run into those types of people. You just keep it moving, honestly. Troy, what you got going on?
Yeah, you had mentioned I was very interested in iPhone. I forgot your first name.
Diamond.
Diamond. I'm
Diamond.
gonna put it
Okay.
up now.
Cannot forget that now that it's like, oh, that's Diamond. Okay. Um, Lovely name, by the way. So you were mentioning that some of the teaching language software, like Rosetta Stone, not on Amazon. Is there an issue with eBay? Is it a Vero?
Yeah, on eBay, Rosetta Stone's Vero. That's like one of the OG
Oh,
Veros.
okay. I've never come across one to sell,
I
so
see them all the time, and I was like,
really?
not for me.
Okay, so I'll be sure not to get excited.
What else we got going on out there in the universe? We got people in the YouTube chat. I'm building my first box for FBA right now. G. Hagen, it took me like 4 hours. Deb thought I wasn't going to last in this business for more than a week. So just realize your first box is going to be the worst one. What's up, Megan? How's it going? What else we got going on out there?
A quick thing I'll add about like sourcing inventory and running into uncomfortable situations or people who make you feel like you might be in the wrong. Like this is a totally valid business. And what I found is there is plenty of people who are happy to sell to you and plenty of businesses that are happy to do business with you. Like
Hmm.
I've stepped away from the cherry picking model and now, I mean, realistically, there's pallets of this stuff everywhere where you can get thousands of items and people are happy to sell it to you with a smile on their face. So there's ways around it because I've ran into those situations as well. And I don't know, I kind of like to do it in my own space, I guess, all the processing. But yeah, I know you're an everything seller, so all I do is disc media pretty much.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because you almost feel like you're obligated in some of these relationships. And I'm here to tell you, you're not obligated to anybody for anything. Even the $2.99 you pay a month to be here, you're not obligated to continue that past the second you sign up. And you feel like when you're in this relationship, right? Maybe you're getting inventory from somewhere, and I've seen it, right? Because I've worked with some thrift stores, and they've had relationships where they're getting their inventory, and they're getting kind of ripped off for what they're paying, or the quality of goods just isn't there, and people are so afraid to just cut ties and move on. And honestly, that's the best thing you can do, especially if you're selling media, because this stuff is everywhere. Like Sigil said, you might not see it at the thrift store, but if you just take a few layers back, you put out the flyers, you start having conversations, you look a little bit deeper, get involved with the libraries. This stuff is an endless abundance supply. That's the huge benefit of selling media. It's a lot of work, but everywhere you look, it's also there, right? Like you just got to think a little bit outside the box and don't feel like you're obligated to. Listen, I'm not buying Gaylords from Sigil, even though he's been around forever. And it sucks just to be like, well, it's Sigil, so I got to pay my money, or like I've been buying Gaylords from Sigil, and I just got to pay my money. Like, no, those types of relationships, bye bye.
And another thing is it's not just with media that's plentiful and out there everywhere. It's with clothing, it's with a lot of other categories too. So you just gotta think outside of just going to thrift stores only and understand that it is a real business if you decide to treat it that way. And there are people willing to do it on a large scale.
Leslie says, what would you say to libraries that don't allow scanning? I'm going to assume you're talking like the libraries out there, like, no scanners allowed. We don't want to make money. We just want our books to sit here forever. There's nothing you can do in those situations. You can go and try to be like picky and just kind of sneakily get a few things, or like snipe the complete sets of DVDs or CDs, but there's always another library. That's how I look at it. You know, I don't work with all the libraries around me, and some of them are just like that, where they don't allow scanning at the sales. For every one that doesn't allow it, there's probably 5 that have way too much stuff that need to get rid of it. So you just have to keep plugging away, and like it's not even real. Like, I know people are scared of like rejection, but it's not even real rejection, because the way we have it set up, you just mass email them with the template, and you only got to get one hit back through email. You don't even got to have a picture of yourself. They don't even got to know who you are, you know? So like the template, emailing the templates to the library, like if you don't have enough inventory, or you don't feel like you have enough sources, then I would literally just make a list of the 50 closest libraries and just send the email, and I guarantee you'll hear back from at least one of them. They're like, oh, we got so much stuff. It would be a godsend if you show up. And that's what Ray's been doing. That's his whole business started with libraries. Every day of the week, he's got another library just by reaching out and kind of putting your name out there. And yeah, there's always going to be ones like, we don't want scanners. Oh, you're ripping people off. But then it's like, well, then you know what? It is what it is. I'll go to the next one, and they'll surely take your money at the next library.
It's so funny. The libraries are like killing to get rid of their stuff. Like I'm talking with one library, and they're like, "We got 3 giant boxes of the DVDs. How about you pay us in a copy of Frozen on Blu-ray? Because we're just short on that."
See? It's crazy. It is absolutely asinine, some of the deals that can be found out there if you just think a little bit. What else we got going on?
I got jammed up last week on an inventory upload. It was the strangest thing. I was creating a shipment with ScanLister. It took my shipment and it was labeled in a box ready to go. And I realized that the upload didn't take and none of the inventory was showing up. Fortunately, I caught it in time. And the next day, I had to cancel the shipment within 24 hours. And the next night, I re uploaded it and it took that time. And at the same time, some other people were on the Book Flipper group saying that GoToLister was doing the same thing. I think it was an Amazon glitch.
Probably.
And, but I got that figured out. And the other thing I learned was with the I think it was the first choice of the Amazon optimized shipments. I've been able to get those in without placement fees, but only if I create my shipment in ScanLister. If I'm uploading smaller batches and I'm just doing it from Seller Central, it doesn't work. It will always default to the you have to pay placement fees.
It's good to know. It's good to know. I told Amazon to break all the listing software since I wasn't sending anything in. I said just break everything so nobody can send anything in. And I'm glad they actually got my message and it actually worked. Wendy, what you got going on? I seen you unmuted there.
Yes, I want to go back to Gaylords if we could. I'm having the hardest time, well, with Goodwill. Either they don't admit to me that they sell Gaylords, or they pretend they don't know what they are, or when I call in, they switch me over to a phone that has the old busy signal. Can somebody please help me with that? How?
Not all Goodwills are going to have Gaylords. That's the first thing you run into. Second thing is calling probably is not going to work either. I think that's one of those things where you got to go in and talk to a manager face to face.
I did that. I went to the outlet in Dallas.
Yeah, I remember you were saying. Did you go to the other one yet?
No, I haven't been over. Well, okay, so I went to the website to go to Fort Worth, and that was the day that all Goodwills in the Dallas-Fort Worth area closed.
Oh yeah, so you just
until
gotta
further notice.
you just gotta wait it out and take the trip over there.
So I just have to go in.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go in. Ray, you want to chime in?
Yeah, be careful when you're going to Goodwill. I use my Goodwill here in Richmond as my dumping ground. I take literally thousands of books, CDs, DVDs to my local Goodwill because they don't care how much I bring them, because I get buried in this stuff. Because like Mike just mentioned, people call me now, libraries, estates, whatever, and I take it all because that's to confirm that I'll always be the first person they call because I clean house and I come here and I sort it. And I got a 5x8 trailer that the guys at the Goodwill in Henrico know me as, hey, book guy. So every time I roll in there, I take them some donuts from Dunkin' Donuts because there's one next door, and I take them a half dozen donuts. So just be careful when you're going to Goodwill to buy Gaylords. You might be buying all of my duds. So just kind of, be careful.
Mine too.
All right, multiple choice. Well, not multiple choice question. This is an open-ended question. How much would everybody here be willing to pay for a Gaylord of books from the Goodwill outlet?
$100.
Zero.
Knowing they might all be duds.
150.
50 bucks if I can do it like Golden State Picker.
He pays 100, right? Golden State Picker pays 100.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
50
actually
to 100,
something.
yeah.
That's something I wanted to bring up, Wendy. We didn't talk about it in the one-on-one. Is if they let you, if possible, if you can scan through the Gaylords on site and leave everything else behind, that would be the way to go 100%.
Yep.
I can give some quick insight because I've been dealing with a lot of Gaylords the past couple months. First to Ray, I'd recommend maybe just disposing all of them instead of going to Goodwill each time. Maybe you're getting a tax write-off, but that sounds like it might be a hassle. Either a recycling center or actually renting a dumpster or finding one that you can fill up. That's what I've been doing at the place I've been working out of. That's what the guys do that are my suppliers. They literally told me they were freighting away garbage. They don't mess around with trying to get write-offs or trying to get buyback companies. I still use Sell Back Your Book myself when I'm scanning. But another thing I'd like to mention, it's not just Goodwill that has these. There's all different thrift stores. I would just send a bunch of emails, like the same strategy for trying to find like real estate, like clean out companies or libraries. Just target for pallets instead in places that would have it in bulk. Like I know there's other thrift stores out here, like maybe even Second and Charles might do it if you send the right email or talk to the right person. McKay's, Half Price Books, all of them. It's not just the one Goodwill in your area too. I mean, you can also look online and get them shipped to your house. That's a risk though, but there's
He's
about it.
100% right. Goodwill wasn't even on my email list. I didn't even reach out to any Goodwills. I would literally go to everywhere but, and just send out the mass email, Wendy. That's the easiest way to put it. Literally, just send out the template and you just get in Excel, create a sheet, take it, an hour or two to sit down and get everybody's email address, send it out one day, track your responses, and then kind of go from there.
Okay, that didn't really cross my mind. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed right now, so I think that's why.
Yeah,
Saying
Thank you for that.
Gaylords isn't going to help with that. That will
yeah.
overwhelm.
Yeah.
That's the deep end of the anxiety overwhelm pool is the Gaylords.
Yeah, and I understand that. But Half Price Books, they also do Gaylords?
I've gotten pallets from Goodwill and from Half Price Books, so yeah, I believe that they actively do. You might have to have the right connection though. I haven't went
Yeah.
directly through them. I go through my own supplier, so I'm yet to actually establish those connections, but it might just take an email.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Something I want to share is that I on the topic of thinking of like creative ways to source. So I saw this TikTok video of this guy that is looking to buy vintage clothing. So he calls it cold calling, and he goes to like I think he usually like targets like older folk. And he goes to like grocery stores and bingo, like the bingo place, and like he has this little paper printout that says like I buy this, I'll help you, like, and he'll tell them I can help you, like, do any heavy lifting or move stuff around if you guys want to clear stuff out, and he'll pay them for it. And like he's gone to like the grocery store and the bingo parlor to like do that, and I think that's like a creative way to get like media, vintage clothing, stuff like that, before it gets, trashed or donated. So
I bring
that
it
was
up all the
interesting.
time. That there's a show called My Strange Addiction, and you think conversations are uncomfortable, and this lady, this young girl who was hustling vintage clothing, would go through the obituaries and go to their houses and knock on the door and have a conversation with the person that passed away's loved one and ask if they could buy stuff from their closet. So if you think sending an email or having a conversation in a thrift store is awkward or you're going to feel weird about it, listen, some of these people out here are just, it's absolutely crazy what types of, the lengths people are willing to go. And, that's just crazy. I would never even think about doing something like that, right? Like, it's nuts, though. You just got to think a little bit past the initial layers. It's the only reason this group exists is because everything we've done is everything your typical media seller never will do. And it's nothing special. It's just a matter of just being like, okay, well, yeah, thrift stores are great, but there's greater out there. There's much greater out there, and thrift stores aren't going to get any better. Thrift stores are as worse as they've ever been. It's not like it used to be, full cart gang every store. Them days are long gone. What else we got going on?
So I have a question. I'm very new, number one. And I went to a Salvation Army and bought 340 CDs.
Woo!
And they were a nickel a piece. So I used the scanner, Scoutly, and just bought all of them that said accept because I didn't really have time to look. So right now, I'm not exactly sure how to sort through those and how I determine which ones I send to Amazon and which ones maybe I just trash or something. So how do you look through the Gaylords or how do you look through the purchases like I made and determine which ones you send in?
So did you just buy them all or did you scan them at the store?
I scanned them at the store. There were probably 2,000 or 3,000 of them, and it was the 340 that said accept, and so I grabbed those.
Okay, so you already have the guideline of accepts, which is good. So basically now you have you created your first shipment yet on Amazon?
I had created a shipment of books before of about 29 books, and I have not created the shipment of CDs. I've been going through those and struggling, quite frankly, a little bit to try to figure out how to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to assume you're listing through Seller Central, correct?
I am listing through GoToLister.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to make your life a lot easier as well. So when you are listing, right, it shows you your profit as you list, like right in GoToLister. Have you tried listing any yet?
I have, yes.
Okay. So
And
what's
some
it?
of them are pretty profitable. Some of them are like a sales score of, I don't know, pretty low, like anywhere from 1 to 7 or 1 to, well, anywhere from 1 to 100 and something actually in that whole batch. But I'm not sure what score is too low to send in, or is there?
I would send everything you bought. Sounds like you at least got them through the Scout IQ, and that was probably the default trigger set. So as long as when you list it on GoToLister and it shows a profit. Now, you know when you list on GoToLister, it'll have like FBA1 or BB for the buy box, like how it's pricing your items.
Yes.
I want you to always at least be at that buy box price. So when you send those items in, I don't want you to be FBA2 or FBA3 or FBA4. I want you to always be at that buy box price, because as a new seller, you don't have the buy box, so you got to be priced down low to actually get sales in the beginning. So that's the main thing I would do, is price aggressively and just list them and GoToLister and make sure that the profit is green. I mean, on CDs, I don't want you listing stuff that's only going to make you $1 or $2, right? Like, so for minimum, I would say $3 profit, and that's usually around $9.99 for a CD. So as you're going through and listing your CDs, have it in your mind that the least I'm going to send the CD in for is $9.99. Now, you don't want to list CDs between $10 and $11, because the fees are actually less at $9.99 than they are at $10.99. You'll make more money on a CD selling it at $9.99 than you will $10.99, right? So that's another thing. So we're not listing any CDs between $10 and $11. Your lowest price is $9.99. You always want to make sure that you're the lowest buy box price, so you're not going off FBA 1, 2, or 3. You want to be the lowest buy box price. And if there's no FBA offers in that column, then that's where you can get a little bit greedy, right? I did that video where I listed all of the CDs and I completely priced everything, so maybe that'd be a good one for you to kind of go in and check. But if there's no used FBA offers, those are the ones where you can get the $14.99, the $17.99. But I mean, for 5 cents, you're going to make mistakes, right? And I think it's kind of good that you got them for so cheap. You're definitely going to make money, right? You've seen the profit on some of those CDs. So I would just go through, get a nice size box, fill it up with CDs. It doesn't have to be all 300 in one. Maybe do like a small box to start out that you can fit like 50 CDs in. Do that, go through, get accustomed with exactly how it works, see what it looks like, and if you know you can't sell it at $9.99, then you can just redonate it. But yeah, I mean, at a nickel a piece and you use the default triggers, I mean, you're definitely going to come out ahead. So it's just going to be a learning experience for you.
Right. Now, I'm not sure if I did something wrong, but at least 3 or 4 of them had an accept when it had 0 sales. Is that something that I have wrong in the settings, or is that a normal thing?
So the score was 0. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah, those, you don't want to send those in. If you remember which ones they were, you don't want to mess around with that stuff in the beginning, just because I want you to get sales coming in, and 0 means it hasn't sold in 6 months. Yeah, maybe more advanced, 6 months from now when you understand the data a little bit more and you have the buy box, then you can take those risks. But 0 e-score right now, I would not mess around with. I would even argue, as a brand new seller, you probably shouldn't send anything in under 6 or less, because then that only sells once a month and you don't have the buy box yet. So anything 6 e-score or less doesn't get sent in. So that's your first kind of parameters.
Okay, that makes sense. I appreciate that.
Get it sent in. Start selling them CDs. And remember, if it's new, sell it as new. Don't be afraid to sell your CD as new if it's actually brand new sealed.
Okay.
I wish I could get 300 CDs out of my Salvation Army.
Apparently one guy brought all those in just before I showed up, and so I don't know if I go back. There were some that did not turn green. Is there a criteria where I would go back and select some of those, or no?
Today, no. If we have the same conversation in 3 months, probably yes.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And if you run into any headaches or questions, just shoot me a message in Discord. We'll get you sorted out.
All right.
On that same note, I was sourcing the other day CDs, and there were a handful that did not have any used FBA offers, but they had really high sales rank, so I left those behind. What do people use as their cutoff um, sales rank for CD and DVD?
The sales rank really doesn't bother me. I'm just worried about what the sales score is. So if they have a sales score, at least a 1 in my business model, I'm buying that if there's no used FBA. Probably a lot of the time, as long as the new price is decently up there. So I would buy something like that. But yeah, the rank, I know you see in all the groups, don't sell anything over 100,000 in CDs and DVDs. I've sold CDs and DVDs 400,000, and people in their right mind would never touch that stuff. But of course, it hasn't sold if there's no Prime offers, because people only shop on Amazon with Prime. So that's a huge benefit of kind of having that going on.
All right, thank you. I ended up leaving quite a few behind, but I know where they are, so I can actually go back. Because I have been selling for a while and they're so cheap. Like, I feel like in some situations we can afford to take risks.
Yes.
I still don't have buy box, but I have been selling a long time.
Just keep sending. You'll get the buy box eventually. It's just a matter of time.
Thank you.
I flipped a Trump book I listed on eBay. Bought it for $35 yesterday and sold it for $237. Fun fact: once upon a time, for my library pickup, I got a signed Donald Trump book and I gave it to my video editor, and it would have been the biggest book sale I ever had in my life if I sold it today, and I gave it away. So what are you gonna do? You live and you learn, right? Hey, I'm not losing sleep over it. But yeah, my most expensive book, I gave it away. I don't know. What else we got going on? I actually had a library pickup. I got to get through it. Sitting at the storage unit, I haven't been motivated at all to get out to the storage unit and get through it. I got to get back to the thrifting grind tomorrow. I'm working on new trigger sets for 2025. Is there any specific trigger sets you all want to see? I'm going to do an all FBM one for people that just want to be merchants and fulfill from their house. Is there anything that's specific that you guys want to see in your trigger set so I can try to figure it out? Alright. And then I'll just do my plain Jane trigger sets.
I have an idea, like from the last video that I copied off of your trigger sets, or not the video, but in the group. Can somebody? I'm still trying to understand Scoutly because again, I'm new. I'm Bob, by the way. And so like I can kind of I'm starting to see and understand how it is, how the trigger sets work. But I feel like a lot of my stuff right now is just going to sell back your book. It's like it's either showing restricted or that. So like I don't know, maybe if you're thinking of content more like just maybe even if someone knows of a video, just something that explains it more in depth to me at some point.
So the big thing you want to worry about in Scoutly, you use Scoutly or Scout IQ?
I believe I use Scoutly.
Okay. So the most important number that gives you is your sales score. That is how many days out of the last 180 days that item sold, right? So if we kind of can break it down equivalents. If it's a 6, that means that item sells once a month, right? That's kind of the equivalent. If it's 24, then it sells once a week. That's the most important thing, is understanding the sell-through rate of the items we're buying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still working on it. Like I'm working on my first box right now, and it's been hellish just to try and find stuff that I'm ungated in and all of that.
It'll fall with time. Everybody here has been in your shoes. Well, not me, because back when I started, you could sell anything. But everybody else that started selling on Amazon in the past year and a half has been the same thing. Everything's gated. You just got to send some in, sell a little bit, and then they just go away for you.
Oh yeah. So, and considering we're trying to everybody's ending the year strong, and some of us are trying to start our new year strong. What's the next month and a half, December, January-ish, like for, ungates and just like the general tension that Amazon feels? Are they, do they close it up too much, or is that something? I know they used to do it, like they used to say you couldn't send any more in, and it's part of the reason why I didn't want to start in the first place, but now it's a little bit
Yes,
different.
the storage limits are gone, but I will say this, and everybody here can agree that Q4 Amazon is greedy with the gates. They hard gate a lot of things. They put a lot of things behind gates in quarter 4. So you jumping in now, you kind of jumped into the pool and there's not much water in the deep end, but once the new year comes and you're already sending stuff in now, you're kind of getting ahead of the curve. So once some of these gates start dropping, you'll be a-okay. But every year, quarter 4, it's just they throw up hard gates for some reasons on smaller sellers, and you can't get through them. And it's just, but now at least we can send inventory in and buy space like we unfortunately couldn't do 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, you're in that weird spot of just being consistent in the beginning, dealing with restrictions. I like the fact you're utilizing a buyback company, so you actually still have money coming in. Take advantage of that, because cash flow is the most important part of this. The only reason we do it is to make money, and in the beginning, we ain't got a lot of money to spend. Even now, I still don't have a lot of money that I want to spend. So yeah, just be smart with that and just keep on trucking.
Oh yeah, no, I've already put in 3 boxes to sell back your books, and um, I'm just still working on my eBay. But yeah, okay, thanks.
No problem. What else? Yesenia. I'm sure I think I said that right. Yesenia?
Yes, you said it right.
Woohoo!
So you were saying for triggers, I don't know, this might just be the default triggers, but I was thinking maybe a specific set of triggers for only fast moving, low profit, maybe even like marginal or no profit books, just like for a new seller to get their sales in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, see, I'll definitely do it. Right now, it's called like the no buy box trigger set that I have in the Discord, but I am going to revamp it some because some changes do need to be made. So that's how it'll be worded.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to put like new, I guess, beginner triggers, because you got to send in the faster moving stuff. You're 100%
Yeah.
correct. So yeah, for sure. That's definitely on my list to do.
I think
Okay.
having another trigger set that indicates the 9.99 fast moving items that even experienced sellers use as bread and butter items.
Yeah,
I've
just
kind of
just
tried
put
to
it in the
set
bulk
that up.
trigger set.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Mike. Are you still paying for inventory placement?
100%.
Dude, turn it off.
I'm
Everyone's
riding the
getting
train
it
to
for
the
free.
end, dude. Yeah, everybody
I
boo me, boo, boo. I'm riding it to the end.
I think about you a couple of times a week, and I'm like, man, I think Mike's probably still paying for every box for inventory placement, and every single person I know is getting it for free for like the last month or two. They've been blessing us, bro. Take your blessing.
I
Turn it off.
I take it in other ways, all right? I get my peanuts from Scoutly affiliate, and I'm doing all right. I
Oh
turn
God.
that thing off. Things start going sideways. The year I've had, I'm not clicking another button in Amazon FBA settings, all right? Maybe 2025 we can revisit it. For the time being, when it rains, it pours, and right now it's pouring, so I gotta avoid things.
All right, if you're superstitious, I feel you, but from all the help you've given me, I wish you would take that advice. You'd save a couple $100 by the end of the year. Is anyone in this group paying for inventory placement right now, or is everyone able to get it for free? Because I'm pretty sure everyone is getting it for free at this time.
So just a few weeks ago, I found out I could get it for free. I went in there and changed it, but it only works if I make my shipment and scan lister. And I wasn't sure if there was like a magic number, but I had shipments of 17, 25, 32, and they went without placement fees. They did go a little further away, but there were no fees. So I was thrilled.
Yeah,
Can
you
you
need
repeat that sigil, please? Because, gosh, no, I didn't know, and I just sent a bunch of stuff in that kind of is going to kill the profit on my wholesale item.
Yeah, I'll even link the page in Amazon so Mike can follow it and change his
I'm
setting.
gonna do it right now. Which one do I check off? And if I swear to
Uh,
God, if it split my shipments this week schedule, I'm driving to that warehouse. What should I
we use
check
the
off?
same listing software. I promise it's all good. Unless they change it out of the blue and it's just All right, it's that link I sent in Zoom takes you to your inbound settings, and I have it on Amazon optimized shipment splits.
Okay.
And it's giving no splits for whatever quantity SKU. It used to work with the 200 item SKU, and you can bypass it, but you don't even have to do that anymore. So that's my gift to you. I'm actually so happy that you took my advice.
Yeah, until it's not a gift. Come Saturday night, and I'm blowing your phone
No.
up.
I think they blessed us for all Q4. I think they knew how dirty they did us the last couple of years, and they looked out this time.
All right.
Enjoy it.
I saved it. I just saved it, so we'll see.
Let me know.
Pass that around because I'm interested in that as well. Because I've been paying and been like, sure, whatever, one box, one shipment, gone.
I haven't been paying placement fees for months, and I rarely ever have split shipments, especially doing 200 or 200 adjacent.
It's just in your FBA settings, right? You just go cogwheel fulfillment by Amazon, and then the inbound settings, you just change it to Amazon optimized shipment splits.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if worst comes to worst, you just resubmit it anyway.
Yeah, even if you can change it before you even pay for it anyway. But
Even
yeah,
then, I'm still gonna drag you if it don't work.
It will.
It will. He's dying on the hill that he's gonna change my life.
It just looks like the normal page sigil that we always use.
Yeah, but it depends on what setting you have up there, how much you'll get charged, like the partial shipment or minimal shipment. Those will add on additional charges. Amazon optimized doesn't add on any charges, and they've conveniently letting them all go to one location. Unless you send like 8 of the same item in the same box, that will make it split. But if you're sending like 1, 2, 3, 4 of items, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, I discovered this a few weeks ago from the Book Flipper group, and I tried it, and it worked, even though my shipments were not that big, because I'm nowhere near 200, and it seemed like anything over 20 was good to go.
All right, so he just kind of he's gonna have an inbox full of shit, and he better be by Discord come Saturday night if this don't work, because he's gonna be a lot of nasty messages going out. Maybe he saves us money. Then he's gonna want some kind of commission. We're gonna have to send him some of the peanuts we're saving with the placement fees.
Everything you do for the community is more than enough.
Let's see here. With Optimum Palace, I was using it, changed it back. Can you do Amazon FBA and FBM at the same time? Yes, but you can't, say you got one of the books. FBA means you send it to Amazon. FBM means you keep it at your house. But if you have multiple copies, you could technically FBM one and FBA one. The thing, most people shop on Amazon, they want Prime, right? So the FBM prices are usually always a lot lower. I would say almost the FBM prices are the eBay prices. And then the FBA prices are just the FBA prices. So a lot of the items we sell, right? We could sell some of these CDs, DVDs, books at $19.99, and honestly, the FBM offers are at $5 or $6. So FBM is usually for the mega sellers. There is a lot less fees that come with FBM. It's probably like 20% less fees. But with media, you can get it for so cheap, and you can kind of bake it in. You really can't lose unless you're just making a bunch of terrible buys with media. So FBA 100% is the way, especially now that there's no storage limits even in Q4. 2 years ago I would have told you got a FBM in Q4, but them days are kind of gone. So yeah, you can do both. If you're the person that likes doing FBM, then when I create the FBM trigger, you can list it all from your house. There's no photos with FBM like eBay. You're never taking a single photo for Amazon ever in your life. So yeah, that'll help you. You don't have to worry about that, and you can just pack and ship. I will say this: Amazon does not play the eBay game. You ship something late, or something doesn't get there in the expected time frame on Amazon, and they'll ban you from selling on any FBM items. All right, winding down here. 11-minute warning.
I have an ungating question. So I think I've talked about this before. I'm already ungated in Sony, and I didn't have to do anything special for Sony. I got ungated in 20th Century Fox with an invoice from Target, but somehow I'm still gated in Warner Brothers. So since it's Q4, should I wait until January to revisit this?
No, I mean, if you have the invoice and they're letting you apply.
Oh, okay, I don't yet, but I used to be ungated in Warner and Warner Brothers, and they seem to split them into three or four. Like someone mentioned, they put the little dollar sign on the end, and
Yeah,
so
as
there's
long as you can
Warner, Warner
apply, then
Brothers.
I don't think there's any reason to wait.
Okay.
You saying yeah?
Sorry, it's a little loud. I'm outside of my daughter's dance studio, but
That's all right.
so I don't know if you remember, like 2 weeks ago, I talked about the Gaylord shipment that I got, or the Gaylord that I got, and I only got about 20 books, but it would have been double if I would have been restricted in a bunch of stuff. Well, tomorrow is my 2-month sendiversary to Amazon, and I went through my death pile, and I'm only gated, and I was able to send everything except for a couple of things that I'm guessing they're like hard restricted, like maybe like not textbooks, but not hard textbooks, I guess, but like college stuff. So I was surprised. I didn't think it would happen that fast.
There you go, Bob. She's living proof that you just send some in and stay consistent with it, and then all of a sudden you magically can start sending a whole bunch more in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I looked at my stats. I'm like, I've been selling for less than 2 months, and I have like 12 wholesales, like nothing crazy. So
yeah, it's all process. The first 6 months on Amazon is going to be the toughest months. It's going to be a lot of asking yourself, is this really worth it? Is this putting in all this time, all this effort, all this work? It's not even the money in media in the beginning because we can get the stuff for cheap. We got the buyback companies. It's just the time and the heavy lifting, especially with books. And it's a lot some days to kind of be like, all right, well, now I got to go deal with this, and it's more lifting and more sending. And if you don't send, it doesn't hit you right away, right? You don't list. I didn't list on Amazon this week. I'm not going to feel this pain probably ever because I have so much in inventory. But if you don't send something to Amazon this week or next week and you're new, there's no instant, like, they don't shut your account down. You still get sales. Things still continue to happen. It's when a month from then, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then you don't get no sales. It's because it's almost like a month out window from all your things getting transferred. So just, be consistent. Even if you don't got to be crazy consistent. You don't got to be pushing the pallets to 10 boxes a week. I just ask for 1 box every 2 weeks with all the categories you want to be buy box eligible in. It doesn't got to be a huge box. As long as there's a box going out the door and Amazon still sees that you're alive and breathing, then hey, you're still in the lottery here. That's how I look at it.
And the books get heavier the older you get.
I don't know. Lederhosen can be very heavy. That's what we sell 7 months out of the year. And yeah, I don't know. I want to try books more than Lederhosen sometimes. My boss is really crazy. She just,
What is Lederhosen?
Oktoberfest? The leather pants?
It's those stereotypical Bavarian clothing.
I grew up in the ghetto. Ain't no Oktoberfest.
I know.
Come on, man. You're a PA. You should be enjoying Oktoberfest right now.
Yeah, you should. We need to hook you and hook you up, and we can do something. Bobby in the group will hook you up. She'll give you 10% off.
I find like the Lederhosen book, and I'm trying to pronounce it on the YouTube video, and I just absolutely mispronunciate. I'm like Lederhosen, and then everybody's in the comments like, "This dude's illiterate." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm making money, so yeah, cool. What's this? Say what you want about me. I can't pronunciate certain words."
It happens.
6-minute warning. Tommy Boy thought the meeting was at 7 because I switched it up on him this month, 6 p.m. Now he's late. He's late to the show, but he still made it here.
I just got in from a estate sale, believe it or not.
Did you get anything?
Absolutely. All DVDs and CDs and 3 books, but it was well worth it.
Mike, I have a deal for you. If you get a sticky note and you write "Go Gators" and you sign your name on it and you mail it to my house, I'll upgrade my membership to book royalty right now.
Johnny gets half a book royalty, so why would I want you to upgrade to that level? So
I'll PayPal you an additional $5 to make back the losses.
You want to see the sticky note I have? I have this sticky note that says no catnip and 2 cat remotes for when I stuff cat toys tomorrow for Deb. That's the sticky note I'm dealing with right now.
Let's say go Gators on it.
Diamond, you got a question? Fire away before we roll out of here.
You need to do
It's not a question. It's just a statement. So, in some of the podcast videos, you've mentioned that, like, I don't know if you still sell on eBay, but like you go months or weeks or however long without having listed an item on eBay, and then you list something, and then it sells like quickly, and it's just a can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear. Uh-oh, we lost her.
Hello?
Wait, you're back. And she's gone again. It don't matter how often you list on eBay. As long as you got something that people want to buy, it's going to sell. You know, like, sure, if you want to be the person that's got 10, 50,000 media items, then yeah, it's a grind, right? Like, that's a grind. But if you're the person that's like me, it just comes across decent stuff, like, you know, and it's actually got to sell through and is worth some money, it'll sell. I don't know. I got 0 listings in my eBay store right now, and I'm loud and proud about it. But if I came across something and I wanted to actually, you know, hey, list this, you know, if I got that book back from my editor and I listed that, like, that's going probably within 24 hours, right? So yeah, it's you just got to list quality stuff on eBay and understand eBay's a different market than Amazon. It's more a collectible market, signed books, things like that. That's what really will do well on eBay. What's up, Bobby?
Well, I'm new. I'm Bob's mom, actually. We've been working together for years on my business, but he's got me convinced that Amazon is a good way to fill out the rest of the year. So I am at the place where I'm ready to be verified, or I'm going through that process with my account. But when I do the tax identity thing and I put in my full name and my EIN, it continues to say the IRS does not recognize my name associated with the EIN. And I see there's a lot of issues with that. Does anyone have any? Is that how I'm supposed to be doing it? Putting in my name and then my EIN versus my LLC and my EIN?
They should be the same. So yes, on an LLC, you just put in your EIN number, which is registered with the IRS and issued by the IRS. You do not need to put your Social Security in unless you are what is the status of your LLC, sole proprietor?
Yeah, it is. So it's a disregarded entity. And from what I read, it said put in your name versus the LLC.
Yeah, I had a problem with that as well. You know, I don't know how new you are, but I spent quite some time because the problem is all my bank accounts and everything are associated with the LLC. And I want all the income, the 29 cents that Amazon gives me per week, I want that to go into the LLC because the expenses come out of the LLC. So when you set up your bank account, did you give your bank your Social Security number or your EIN number?
EIN.
Okay, stick with the EIN. You can always go into, if you get to a point where you get a little bit stuck, you can either DM me or you can also go into, you know, Seller Central and you can open up a case. Although I have found on financial matters that they never deal with it as if you're like dealing with selling, you know, so it's kind of I don't know, it's a no-win sort of situation, but stick with your company name, stick with your EIN, my recommendation. Okay. And then if that doesn't work and they kick you out again, DM me, and then maybe we can figure something out.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Roz is in the Discord. She's available 24/7 with her 29 cents in payouts every single week. She'll definitely help you through it. Thank you, Roz, for being a helpful, contributing member to the group. 1 minute left.
Prep centers.
Go blue.
Prep centers.
Yeah, when you get a chance, love to. I've been researching doing.
Tommy boy.
Just send them all. Send everything to prep centers, and you don't have to deal with it. Just put it in your Scoutly. I've thought about doing this. What if you never even had to prep a single book or list a single book? You just put it in your buy cost of $1.50 or whatever the prep center charges, and then you just box it up and send it to them.
Yeah, I'm searching them in no sales tax states.
Yo, Ray, that's lazy, dude. That's the first thing that came to my mind. You trying to be lazier than me. That's the first thing that came to mind.
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but I would like to know that there's a machine going on in the background, and I just see this money getting dumped into my account, and I just buy the books, ship them to them, let them do that part while I continue to do my part.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, 100%. You could just literally just bake it into your trigger set. It's done. I mean, it's not. I don't think it would even make a huge difference. I mean, unless you're, chasing a lot of the low dollar stuff. I mean, you still could send in your own, but you could literally just pallet it up, and you just gotta find a prep center that's familiar with dealing with media as well, because that'll be a whole new beast. Because most of them just deal with new, wholesale type products, RA, stuff. So yeah, I mean, 100%. You don't even have to list your own items in this business. You can account for everything in your trigger sets. I don't think we realize this. Every fee, if you wanted to account all your subscription fees, you could just divide it into your trigger set, how much you pay a month, and you could have all your buy costs be exactly how much you're paying your overhead cost every single day.
Nice.
You got to make money. You got to keep track of these things. You got to get greedy.
Mike, I have one last parting comment to Tommy Boy. It is now Go Green, and it's Go Green all the way to the national championship, dude. No more Go Blue.
Oh my God! Can you put the cat back on, Roz?
It's Go Ducks.
On the topic of discounts and saving money, if you're using GoToLister, get your $5 off for being a member of this group. I know some of you are still too lazy to send one damn email to get your $5 off. But I had to fight tooth and nail to get your $5 off, and it might not seem like a lot, but it's almost a 2-topping pizza from Domino's at $6.99. So $5 goes a long way. And listen, we got people buying CDs for 5 cents. That's like 100 CDs. It's probably $5 profit. That $5 really is like $500. And then if you invest that in crypto, you become a five trillionaire, right? Like, just get your money off, right? Like, I mean, come on. Don't be that lazy about getting. I know it's not a lot, but I'll take $5. If you don't want it, I'll take it. Like, just send an email.
That's if I've already signed up for it and everything, or
want $5? You can send that. You can send that note over with the Go Gators. Sincerely, Mike, the used book guy.
It's we got a whole thing. Are you in the Discord, Rhonda?
Yes. Yeah. I haven't participated much, but yes.
There's a GoToLister discount. It'll take you right to there's a Google document, and it'll actually walk you through. You just basically take a screenshot of your membership and just email them. And yeah, you literally make money off me if you use GoToLister and pay $2.99 to join the group. You literally make $2.01 off of the group. It's crazy to me. And I'm not raising the price for 2025, by the way. Don't ask. All right.
The supply chain issues make the membership really hard,
Johnny appreciates all you book royalty upgrades. He actually makes more money, full transparency. He makes more money from the book royalty upgrades than I pay him for his monthly eBay call. So he might not say it enough, but he loves you all very much, even though he can't make it today. And I know he's a little bit of a hard ass every once in a while, but you need somebody like him every once in a while to kind of whack you into shape and keep you in line when it comes to different things. Reach out if you need anything. Keep going. The buy box is around the corner. Ariana, she's here now, but she found out today that she's buy box eligible. She's been doing this for a few months. You just consistently send in the items you want to sell. It will happen. Things will happen. Reach out if you need me. Everybody have a good night. It's not even the weekend. I was going to say good weekend. My life's been such a blur. I'll be at the storage unit tomorrow. If you want duds to sell on eBay or whatnot, I got plenty of them. Yeah, everybody have a good one. Reach out if you need me. Go green.
Go green.